Realizing that you don't actually know any of these celebs outside of what you can find online is a little unsettling. They may appear to be a wonderful person due to their media presence, but then they are exposed for some horrible underscore, and the musician D4vd is exhibiting this identical circumstance. As one of the more recent musicians to gain popularity in recent years, D4vd has one of the purest and most authentic internet personas. When he kept getting copyrighted for utilizing other people's tunes, he started making his own music instead of continuing to produce Fortnite montages as a child. Additionally, he has been a highly well-known artist, with several of his songs having had over 1 billion plays and appearing on the soundtrack of films like Invincible. You all have undoubtedly heard his tunes from 2023 to 2025. For example, furthermore, we have every reason to adore the man. He is a young musician who just realized how good he is. He told a really real narrative. However, a lot of information about him has come to light throughout the past month. Let's now dissect the narrative of what we now know. An unpleasant smell was noticed in a Los Angeles impound lot on September 9, 2025. The aroma, according to the police's additional research, originated from a dismembered dead body that was decomposing inside a Tesla that was registered under D4vd's full name, David Anthony Burke. The question of whether D4vd was a suspect or not was also the subject of much conjecture at the time. First off, thanks to their cameras and security systems, Teslas are the least likely vehicles to be stolen or broken into. The likelihood of someone breaking into D4vd's Tesla and concealing a body inside is quite low. On the other hand, D4vd was on tour at the time of the announcement. He wasn't in the Los Angeles area. Additionally, it's possible that someone in D4vd's social circle had access to the Tesla and carried out the crime. Furthermore, it was unexpected that D4vd would be held accountable for this. For example, his songs are not about shooting his ops and dismembering corpses. Rather, they are about passion and love. To believe D4vd is a murderer is like to believing Elmo is a murderer. That's just not what you expect. However, the reality remained that a car registered in his name contained a mutilated body. It's a fact. However, it was mentioned that he was assisting investigators with the case. The news then subsided a little. There wasn't really enough information to determine whether he was guilty or innocent, and he continued to play at his gigs. However, upon the release of the victim's body, D4vd is said to have halted his tour. The decomposing body has been recognized as that of a young girl as of September 17, 2025, Celeste. A 14-year-old girl who has been missing since 2024 is not just any young girl. Celeste is intriguing because she has a tattoo of the letters on her right index finger, which is identical to the one D4vd has on his own right index finger. The fact that Celeste's mother says she had a lover named David is more intriguing. This completely alters the course of events. This deceased body discovered in D4vd's vehicle is no longer an isolated incident. In actuality, this is someone you know and are linked with. And as additional information about the nature of D4vd's relationship with Celeste becomes available, the puzzle pieces start to fit together. Every purported piece of evidence pertaining to Celeste and D4vd will be reviewed. Discord communications from 2022 between D4vd and Celeste have been discovered thus far. It appears from the messages that they were romantically involved. Then, several images of D4vd and Celeste together from 2023 appeared. A close friend's Instagram story surfaced, in which D4vd shared a photo of Celeste with her face hidden. According to a picture that even surfaced, D4vd was paying off children to keep his relationship with her a secret, given that D4vd would have been 18 or 19 years old and Celeste would have been approximately 13. Strange's music videos were released on September 7th, which is also Celeste's birthday. Even stranger is the fact that her name appears twice in an unreleased song by D4vd called Celeste, in which the lyrics discuss his love for her and the humorous tattoos. Heavenly, this section is copyrighted, thus I suppose you should like and subscribe. Unfortunately,
this part got copyrighted, so like and subscribe, I guess.
this song is really great. To think we've spent the entire time listening to romantic tunes about a 13-year-old girl? Holy, let's return to the video. Though, additionally, all of the romantic partners in his music videos resemble Celeste in that they all have curly hair and brown skin. By now, his lyrics and videos are beginning to resemble confessions. A dead body is actually placed inside a trunk in one scenario. This interview explains the lyrics to some of his suspicious-sounding songs in the back of my mind. You died when the hook was inspired, and she died there as well. Although I didn't actually kill her, I killed her in my mind's eye after she passed away. I killed you is actually more of a metaphor. I make an effort to emphasize that, especially in the back of my mind. I say it so loudly for that reason. You passed away in the back of my thoughts. I killed you in the back of my mind. Since your mind is the safest location for you to be, everything is done there. Why emphasize that it was a metaphorical event? In a metaphorical sense, A casket was used as a decoration for his show, which gives it a completely different meaning in light of their current situation. The residents in the Hollywood Hills where the Tesla was towed, which we can presume to be D4vd's, had a search warrant as of September 18, 2025. Additionally, they confiscated the computer along with other items that could be useful in solving this case. It doesn't appear good for D4vd's based on the information against him. Take a look at the proof, please. He is unquestionably accountable for Celeste's situation, or at the very least connected to it. Do any of you still believe he is innocent? And I say this because I'm a huge admirer of his. Last year in 2024, I attended his concert and discovered a snapshot of my 2024 Spotify Wrap. I listened to his song the most that year, and he was my third most listened to artist. Now that I think about it, I might just be unlucky with these musicians, since every time I see them perform, they end up in some sort of difficulty. For example, I attended a concert by the musician BB, and she had the whole femcell incident that occurred in February, and now we have D4vd's, who is linked to the death of a girl who is around 14 or 15. I was quite aware of this situation from the beginning, but I wanted to wait to discuss it until additional information became available. However, given everything, I believe he is quite culpable, unless Light Yagami is attempting to frame him for all of this, or it's his ploy. It's absurd that even though we have all of this knowledge, there is still so much to learn, because we don't know what transpired between the two that led to this tragedy. The precise cause of her disappearance and death is still unknown to us. Additionally, the body was discovered unfinished. Therefore, we don't know where the rest of her is, or whether there were other people involved. The way things are going is depressing, especially considering that he is only 20 years old. And with so much success at the beginning of his career and a terrific record, I genuinely thought he would solidify his place in the spotlight and become as famous as The Weeknd. However, it appears that he will instead be remembered as an R. Kelly. It is possible for someone with a lovely voice to be a very nasty person. A little girl's life was tragically interrupted by a wicked guy. It truly causes you to doubt the moral character of these well-known individuals, as if these men were simply regular people with a large fan base. They are still capable of being a predator, rapist, or even a murderer, despite this. Except from me, I'll keep you all secure. Some than a couple of felonies, aggravated assault, arson, and some minor offenses. I don't have any secrets, but really, this is the reason why it's said that you never get to meet your heroes because you don't know them. However, I will notify you all if there are any changes regarding this scenario that make it even more bizarre. Otherwise though, I'll see you in the upcoming video. Please subscribe and like.com.